Georgia, the big city with lots of Southern hospitality. From arts and sports to fine dining and nightlife, and everything in between. Atlanta's the key to non-stop excitement. But if you have the itch to get out of traffic, the need for speed, then you need to visit Atlanta Motor Speedway. Come on, let's check it out. Just a short drive outside the city and you will arrive at the legendary Atlanta Motor Speedway. I could not wait to find out what it takes to drive on the track. Yes, drive. And we found just the person to tell us. All right, so Ted, you can tell us more about what it really takes to get out on the track if you want to drive at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Well, you have a lot of different opportunities to come out to the Speedway and get on the high banks, 24 degrees banking here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And you can come out to Richard Petty driving experience or any of the number of different schools that we have throughout the year. And you can ride for about $99 for 3 laps at 170 miles an hour.
Good deal.
Or you can actually get behind the wheel of one of these 700 horsepower stock cars. Drive it yourself, costs a little bit more, but you can actually drive it for 8, 16, 24 laps. So a lot of different opportunity to get on the high banks. And of course we also have the drag racing if people want to go straight line.
Yeah, I think a straight line will be better for me.
Well, you have less tendency to run into each other when you're going in a straight line. But that's why we sell tickets, so you can come out and see what happens when you're going around here at 190 miles an hour with 42 other drivers.
Wow, that must be a tight fix. So the seats in the stands, I guess, is there a certain area where people like to sit the best, or they usually like to be in the infield? Or?
Well, it really depends upon what the fan is looking to have for their weekend of fun. A lot of people like to be at the start-finish line where they see the beginning of the race. They get to see the end of the race. A lot of times drivers will compete closely all race long, and then it comes down to mere inches at the finish line here at Atlanta. And of course Atlanta is known for its photo finishes. We've had 3 of the closest finishes in NASCAR history right here at the Speedway. So the start-finish line is a great place to sit, but really out of all the seats in the facility there's not a bad seat because it's elevated. All the seats are elevated. You can see the entire track. But for those that like the infield atmosphere, being a little bit closer to all the action, and then liking the evening fun that can be found in the campgrounds and everything, is they like to stay in the infield. So it really depends upon the perspective that the fan likes to come out and enjoy the whole weekend. Okay,
well, great. I know you mentioned the straightaway, the drags down Pit Row, I believe. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, what we started in 2006 was an opportunity to race at Atlanta Motor Speedway in a straight line drag racing. And we started on the turn 4 area where the pit entrance is for the NASCAR Cup guys. That's where our start line is, and we race an 1/8 of a mile to about halfway down pit road so that they have an area for them to slow down and be able to safely come to a stop. Became quite popular. You see drag racers from everybody's mom and dad's grocery getters to really souped up drag cars. And it's street drag racing. There's no tree, there's no timing system. It's just kind of a fun night out where you can race against your buddy, or you can take on everybody and see if you're the fastest.
Drag to brag, right?
Drag to brag, that's right. We don't pay any money. We give out some trophies, but really all you're gaining is bragging rights, and it only lasts for a week, and then you got to do it all over again.
Okay. How about any women drivers? Are there any people that get on the track as far as the female crowd?
Yep. We have a lot of ladies that compete in our Thursday Thunder, our Legends cars, our Bandoleros, and our Thunder Roadsters, and we saw an awful lot of lady racers last year in the drag. So, with the automobile and competition with the automobiles, you don't have to be the strong man that you might have to be to play football or something like that. Really there's no barriers in auto racing, because it's just a coordination between yourself and your hands, your eyes, and your feet to make the car go as fast as you possibly can. So really anybody can compete in motorsports.
Okay, well, that's great to hear. Well, you've heard it from the experts. Ted, I want to thank you for your time up here.
You bet.
So I think I will actually leave it to those experts over there and think we'll go
Oh,
from
come
there.
on.
Well, I will leave the driving to the experts, such as the Biofuels Racing Alliance. They are here at AMS doing test runs in preparation for Friday night drags. Okay, education through entertainment. I really like that. So John, tell me more about the Biofuels Racing Alliance.
Great. The Biofuels Racing Alliance is a professional racing organization that showcases the power and performance capabilities of automobiles and trucks and motorcycles that utilize alternative fuels. We focus on environmental issues, social issues, and health issues, and kind of bring attention through motorsports. As our goal is to provide information about the energy and transportation legislation that was passed into law back in 2005. And there's a lot of incentives out there for farmers, to make their own fuel actually out of plants. A lot of folks have heard about that. So biodiesel is a big thing. We showcase that in racing, and ethanol is a big thing too. So our goal is to really get information out to the public through the form of motorsports.
Okay. I'm curious to know about the biofuels, where you actually get your product from.
Okay, a biofuel is actually any fuel that can be made from renewable sources. So one thing, for example, people have heard about, people making fuel from plants.
Right.
So there's certain plants like soybeans, sweet potatoes, corn, sugarcane, you can actually get a biofuel from. There are other ways you can get biofuels too. You can actually get biofuels from waste vegetable oil. So for example, biodiesel can be made from waste vegetable oil. There's a federal income tax credit available, 50 cents per gallon, for everybody that actually makes a biofuel from, say, restaurant grease.
Wow.
So we got some waste vegetable recycling campaigns going on, in the region to really let the public know that there's something you can do. A lot of talk about global warming, but no one's telling people what can you actually do. So if you live in an apartment, for example, and you would like to have, support, the movement, you could contact our website at www.biofuelsracing.com. And you can find out information how to participate in waste vegetable oil recycling campaigns. And that oil, instead of you pouring it down the drain, you actually can utilize it, in making biodiesel. So one of the interesting things is we have a program here at the Biofuels Racing Alliance, called One Body, One Planet. And there's a great correlation, between, the human body and the planet. For example, heart disease is the #1 killer, in America.
Right.
And if you actually, think about, what waste vegetable oils actually do in your body, causes the arteries, in your circulatory system to harden, cause a heart attack. Believe it or not, waste vegetable oils being poured down the drain does the same thing in the sewage system.
Wow, now that's a clear picture, I understand. So what are you guys doing out here today exactly?
Well, we're gearing up for the race season and Friday night drag racing out here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So we got one of our sponsor cars out and then just one of our test cars out too. So that's what we're doing today.
Well, can you tell us anything else that you guys are involved in throughout the year?
Yeah, we do conferences throughout the year. We really tied the entertainment, industry into the alternative fuels movement. And like you said, you can see one of the sponsor cars, actually right here, we really tied in the urban audience too. So you're gonna see a lot more hip hop going into racing now, but conscientious though. So we do events, we do racing events, we do exhibitions, we got partnerships with historically black colleges and universities and technical schools. And the things that we like to do is really kind of have excitement around learning. So that's where the education through entertainment comes from.
Okay, well this is an interesting mix, so I'm sure everyone will have a part in what you guys have going on. Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
I was offered the chance to wear a racing suit and give the BFRA drivers a proper send-off. What a great escape to get out of Atlanta traffic and find your way down to Atlanta Motor Speedway. So next time you have the opportunity to get involved with Friday Night Drags, don't forget to check out the Biofuels Racing Alliance. I'm your host, Aduke, for Web 2.0 Television.